Muy buenas noches. Le habla el Nazi Boricua. We're here in the Clouds Podcast, episode number 4. I'm your co-host, Sergio.
And this is your co-host, Josh. Today we have a very special guest in the building, local entrepreneur, local business owner, Tiffany DeJesus Nieves. We will be talking to her about her business today, and we will be covering the Western and Eastern Conference semifinals, or what's left.
Okay. Also, today's episode is brought to you by Conuquicoa. Conuquicoa is a Puerto Rican-owned catering business that reimagines Puerto Rican and Latin and all kinds of food to have a fine dine technique. Chef Sergio Aquino is from Guayama, Puerto Rico, a trained chef who interprets not only Puerto Rican cuisine but other cuisines of the world with a modern twist. Find Conuquicoa on Instagram and Facebook. For catering inquiries, call or text 716-425-1556 and make your next event unforgettable. Also, Conuquicoa is partnering with the Pucho Olivencia Community Center to bring you a 7-course dinner tasting and specialty curated wine pairing by Kate Little from Empire Liquors. Reserve your seat for June 6th at 6 p.m. at 261 Swan Street in Buffalo. Find more info on Conuquicoa on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, Tiffany, how we feeling?
Feeling good, you?
Good. We feeling good here. We got a few questions today. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got in this business, what gave you your start?
Thank you for having me. My name is Tiffany DeJesus Nieves. I'm from Bayamón, Puerto Rico, 29 years old. Pa' que tú sepa. And I'm Latina business owner of Encanto Esthetics, LLC. I've been in the beauty business for about 8 years. I first started when I worked at Sephora at 19, 20 to 21 years old. And then I would grow a passion with it, with my artistry, making women feel good and uplifting them. And I would do freelance work like weddings and birthdays and events. And then that's when I decided to go to school and get my license back in 2017 to 2018. And then I passed my state boards and I got a job at a worldwide beauty company. And I stayed there for 6 years. And then after my last years, when I started to realize, like, I've always wanted to be a business owner, and I'm here for a little too long. I'm not going to get any younger. I've always known I wanted that for myself, and I needed to tell myself, why not now? You know, why am I waiting so long? I want to do this as young as I can, so I have it 5 years, 10 years already built. For when I have a family, it's already big in my name, and I can pass it down. That's what I've always wanted for myself. And then at 2023 August, I had enough of working for someone and making them rich while I'm struggling mentally and not doing my full potential, which I got my license for. I started doing research, went to downtown, registered my name, and I got all my clients to follow me pretty much. And then it grew from there. And I don't regret a single thing.
That's awesome. It seems like you found your calling at a pretty young age, especially to make that leap from working in the industry to starting your own thing. How did you know you have found your passion at such a young age? Like, how did you know this is what I want to do?
I knew I found my passion when I knew it felt right, when I made an impact on someone else's life, when I make them feel good, when I have a connection with someone and we get into deep conversations. And just by that single moment, they can walk out feeling better because of me. I knew that God placed me in that role for a reason. So I just followed my desire and my dreams and grew from there.
Okay. Now, just so everybody knows, what is it exactly that Encanto Aesthetic does?
Encanto Esthetics entails with all aesthetics work, skin, lashes, lash lifts, brow lamination, full body waxing, brows, facials, organic skincare. And you can do permanent brow makeup as well, which I also got certified for that I'm working on. I will later want to add nanoblading. So it's tattooing the brows on someone's face if they lost their hair due to chemo, they've always had sparse brows, and they wanted to uplift their face and enhance their look. I can do that as well.
Oh, okay.
Nice. So with all that being said, right, you said you worked a few jobs. You ended up getting sick of it, right? But take us back a little further before you had these opportunities to work for other people. Did you always know that you wanted to open your own business?
I did. I always knew I wanted to open my own business and break out of the cycle of my family working for other people and never being happy. I knew that I can't work for someone. I just don't function well when I know that I want to do things my way. I want it to grow. I want to feel happy having control of what my dreams should look like by doing it myself. And I always knew it'll happen. I just didn't know when, until I felt a pull telling me you need to leave, you need to open it. And I was also getting sick, getting stress hives. And because I saw it in my body and my neck, down my chest, I knew that that was a moment I needed to just do it and take the leap of faith.
That's awesome. So you opened your business in 2023, you said?
Yep.
Okay. So now, 2 years down the road, your business is growing. You're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to stay motivated and keep growing your business? And do you have any future plans of, expanding or anything like that?
I always remind myself of where I came from. I came from a small island called Puerto Rico, and it was a lot of poverty, small home, being moved to Buffalo. There is no reason why I can't do something like that. I can't fulfill my dreams when I came from almost nothing. So why not keep growing? Why not keep pushing myself? I came this far. Why would I stop now? I remind myself of what I've been through, how hard I've worked, and to never give up. Because you already did the time, you did the effort and the work. Just keep going, even if you're tired or you don't feel motivated or a day may be slow with clients. You don't stop. You can learn, get certified in other services, add it to your business, and then from there you'll keep growing the more you grow your skills. And that's how I stayed motivated.
That's awesome. So always wanting more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never being satisfied?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, 2 years later, we're here, right? We're also in a room with other entrepreneurs and business owners. I mean, we talk to them every day. You're doing this alone. You don't have a team. So tell us how that is. And anytime you do get overwhelmed or you get a little flustered, how do you manage that stress?
So I do it alone. In the beginning, it was very hard mentally and emotionally. I didn't know how to manage my books, scheduling, inventory, content, answering messages, even late at night. I didn't know how to balance that. It took me a couple months to find a balance and let clients know, like, I'll get to you when I can, when I open up at 9 a.m., and creating boundaries with clients and myself, and always scheduling a time while I'm at work. I get all my inventory done. I organize everything. I post. And then when I go home, I leave it there. And I have calendars already up for list of things I need to get done. And in my mind, I feel better that way. And that's how I figured it out alone.
Huh. So when you were planning and starting this whole thing, you were pretty young. Did you feel scared? Did you feel overwhelmed? Like, what was the moment? Was there a moment where you were like, you know what? I'm done working for the man. I'm done making somebody else money and filling their pockets. You know what? I'm going to take this leap. You only live once. I'm doing this. What got you to that place at such a young age with so much confidence? Which it's a great thing, but a lot of people have all this immense potential and it takes them years to make that leap. Sometimes a lifetime. Some people don't take the leap. They just stay working in the system.
Never taking that risk.
Then they're older, out of their prime, and they're standing in front of a mirror.
And time goes by like that. We have to take advantage of the youth that we have now.
So what got you to that place where you're like, yep, I'm doing this?
I was 27 years old back in 2023, and I knew, I'm like, okay, 30 years old isn't that far away. I need to do it now. And if I'm going to keep getting sick and overworking myself and making someone else rich, why would I not take this step for myself? It's for me, my future, and I'll do whatever it takes, even if it's hard. I know it'll be worth it. And it was at that age, 27, I knew it was time.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So, another question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for any young women trying to get in this space? Because you see that this market is a little oversaturated, and you obviously you do things differently. That's why you're successful. So how would you motivate younger girls that want to get into this field?
So I do have some younger girls that are clients that are in this path, going to school and figuring out what they want, whether it's beauty, cosmetology, esthetician. And I always give them advice like learn from your peers. If you see a successful business owner, learn with them and ask them what they do, and look for classes to get certified and other services that are outside of the school that they don't teach. And you can add that on the wall, certifications, learning from successful business women, and creating a circle that motivate you, full of entrepreneurs, go-getters, and that'll really push you to keep going and fulfill whatever passion you want in the beauty world.
I mean, I'm sure some of your clients look up to you. You ever thought about taking some of your clients as like under your wing, like an apprenticeship thing, you know, and show them the ropes, teach them the ropes, alleviate some of your stress, you know, because to grow in this, you're not going to be able to do it alone.
Yeah.
You know? So have you, is this something that you've thought about?
I've thought about it recently, actually, when clients tell me, like, you need to take some time off or try to rest. You look burnt out, or maybe bring someone on eventually, like an assistant. And I've known with some clients that are younger than me that are looking to get into the beauty world, I trust them. And I think that'll be my next option, adding someone to help me.
Yeah, that sounds like a good move. What's one of the most important things, one of the most essential things that you've learned throughout this 2-year journey since you started?
I learned the most to find balance and give yourself grace. Take time off if you need to. You're not a machine. You can't do it all fast overnight because you want it to grow so bad and quickly. You're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to be stressed out. Take your time growing because it's not going to be overnight. It takes time, and be patient with yourself. Find a balance more than anything. So that's what I learned to teach myself, to take it slow if I have to.
That's good. So again, to touch on that, you do this alone, and there's obviously some pros. You get your privacy. You don't have to deal with as many team distractions. It's not like you have to get a bunch of people on the same page because it's just you. So you have one goal, you stick to it, you get it done, right? And you get there faster, right? But you know how people say you get there further with a team behind you. So there's, to that dynamic, there is pros and cons. Share a few pros and cons about being in this alone.
I would say the pro would be I trust myself. I know I can get this done. I will be showing up on time. My client knows who to expect and what kind of work they're going to get. They trust my skills and my techniques, so they want me and they look for me. And I've brought it up to them, like, how would you feel if I had another girl, or take a day for me if I'm sick, or if I just want to switch around with her. But I trust you. I want you, your skills, your hands. I love to talk to you. Our conversation is just different and we connect. So doing it alone can be a little challenging in that part when I want to add someone and they only want me.
Yeah.
And the pros is I know I'm going to get it done. I want it my way, my logo, my style, my ideas. And the cons would be is I would get overwhelmed sometimes, or I'll feel burnt out, or there's some days I just want to shut it all off if I could. But I would say pros outweigh the cons because I did this for myself for a reason, and it's worth it in the end.
That's awesome.
What would be one thing you would say to your younger self prior to starting your business?
So how young are we going? Like 5 years old, teenager?
How young you want to go?
In the womb.
That too. That's an option.
I mean, you can go as young as you want, as many stages as you want.
Of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say when I was bien chiquitita, cuando era una nena, in middle school, I was so shy. I had low confidence, low self-esteem. If her could see how I became now, she'd be amazed and blown away. Like, you have a whole business? You did that? You took the leap of faith? Because I was a completely different person.
It's called progress, people.
Oh, yeah. Improvement in yourself, especially. And when I was little, I was just so, like, in a shell. Like, I would barely talk or do presentations or on stage. And when I was a teenager, I was the same way. Like, I just stayed to myself. I wouldn't take these opportunities I do now. So if I could go back and tell myself something, is just believe in yourself. Have confidence. Do what scares you, because what scares you is what's going to be most liberating in the future. You'll see. Trust yourself.
That's awesome.
That's great. So, another question. This is a deep one. So, in this room alone, I mean, we have multiple people in here that see the early stages of life with Gina being a teacher, right? You have Serge, that's a chef. I mean, you're dealing with people. You're an esthetician. You're dealing with people all day. I'm a trainer. I'm dealing with people all day. And we see people at different moments throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Serge, you see people who are hungry. Mm-hmm. Gina, you see people who are young.
Different emotions.
You see people who are taking the time to build themselves up aesthetically.
And they're very vulnerable.
And they're very
we talk
vulnerable.
about deep things sometimes because of that.
Yeah. So with that being said, that leads into this question. That's perfect. How much do you feel you play the role of a therapist as well?
A lot.
Because that could stress you out, right?
Most times I remember, I have notes in my head. I remember what happened to them, what they went through. I'm going to get some kind of updates, relationship situation, whatever happened last with a job. We always bounce back to what we last talked about a month ago, and we update. And I even give them advice. I encourage them or talk about faith, whatever I need to do to help them leave a little bit better. That's what matters the most to me. I'm not just going to do something to make you look pretty. I want to make you feel good inside too. Yeah. Because that's what outshines the most, what's inside.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then you get those people in there that just tell you too much. Like, I didn't even have to know that, bro.
Yeah, but you know? I appreciate that they trust me that much.
100%.
But I just try to help as little or as much as I can.
Making an impact.
Yeah, it's a client to client thing. So you are playing therapist. How can people get a hold of you and book you?
So you can find me on Google. You can search Encanto Esthetics. I'm located on 317 Ensminger Road, Tonawanda, New York, Suite 11. I have a pink logo on the door and windows. So you can book straight on the website when you search me on Google or Facebook, Encanto Esthetics, and Instagram, encanto.esthetics. And that's it. Okay. Or you could contact me, DM me, book online.
She playing, y'all. Everything in there is pink. Not just the sign.
And the inside.
Fully pink interior.
What is the majority of your clientele as far as demographics? Like, do you have a balance of Hispanics, white people, black people? Like, what do you mainly deal with where you're at?
A little bit of everything, I would say. More Hispanics, more blacks, more culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Go
you
ahead.
Can say whatever you want.
I would like to make a shout out to the people that have helped me along the way.
Shout it out.
Yeah, like the classes I took with my lash lift, brow lamination, the nanoblading certification, and the lawyer that helped me get my LLC. I want to specifically thank them for believing in me and supporting me, Bianca Rodriguez, and follow her business, Bia's Beauty Bar, and Clarissa Angelic Eye Studio. She has her nanoblading business and lashes. Follow her and support her. And Crystal Rodriguez, she's the one that helped me get my LLC. She met me right at the studio. I didn't know her prior, and she believed in me to help me get my LLC. So I want to thank them and my brother for helping me move into my studio. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Tiffany, we appreciate you for coming and sharing your insight. Hopefully everyone out there learned something today, because that's the goal here, right? We want to learn something new every week. Every person we talk to, we want to learn about their mindset, what got them to where they're at today, and hopefully draw a little inspiration for not only ourselves but our audience out there. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Well, guys, as you know, in the Klaus podcast, we normally either smoke trees or some cigars. And tonight we are smoking some delicious Ichibans. Talk to us, producer. Talk to us, Gina.
So this is Gigi, your sound engineer. Today we're smoking the Ichiban.
Gigi.
Which in Japanese means number one. And it's made by Room 101 Cigars. The filler is from 3 different regions of Nicaragua. And it's got the Habano wrapper, this one. Has notes of cedar, toast, and cream. And it's delicious. It's one of our regulars.
It is delicious. We smoke these at home quite a lot, for sure. Now, let's do what we do, right?
What we do best, man. What do we do best?
talk shit about sports
Hell yeah.
and basketball. And pretty soon football.
You already know.
Shit on them Bills.
I mean, I have no problem with early shitting. But
Me neither.
so we are at the 75% mark as far as the playoffs go, right?
Yep.
80%. Talk to me how you feel about these conference finals, bro.
Well, the Knicks and Pacers series is it's looking like anyone's game, you know. Knicks won on the road, Pacers won on the road. Knicks should have never lost game 2. You know, one could say the series could be 3-2 the other way. I do feel that if the Knicks win game 6, they will win game 7. Tyrese better pick it back up, man, because 8 points and 7 shots in a game 5, a decisive game, it is not going to cut it. So, Oklahoma, they absolutely demolished Minnesota. They are looking like they figured it out, bro. Oklahoma's looking pretty invincible right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I think with Tyrese, that's been the thing. Like, one superstar level game, then I wouldn't say a stinker, like an overly unselfish game the following game.
This was a stinker. If you get 8 points and you're the best point guard in the league, you better get me like 15, 17 assists in that game, because I need 30 or 40 points of offensive production from you regardless.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're the best player in our team, and the entire starting lineup of the Knicks got more points than Halliburton. You know?
Yeah.
There's no answer for Karl Anthony Towns, as much as we hate him and how soft he is. I still feel like Thibodeau benching him in game 2 for Mitchell Robinson was a huge mistake. The dude dropped 35 in game 1 and played 22, 24 minutes in game 2. That's just absurd. I like Mitchell Robinson and his defense, but he got 4 points in that game and 7 rebounds.
So this is where we come at a crossroads, because I understand Tibbs is notoriously a poor game manager.
He is.
But, I mean, you run the risk of Cat fouling out almost every fucking game.
I mean, Mitchell Robinson's a hacker, too. I mean, let me
I
ask you
wouldn't
this.
necessarily say a hacker, but he not going to make silly fouls.
He ain't going to drop 20 fucking points either.
Shit,
He
it
ain't going to
could
drop
be-
15.
It could be 30 if you don't
When
get
has
benched.
Mitchell Robinson dropped 30 points in a game? I'll wait.
Every time he's in a game, the momentum swings to New York's benefit because he's making defensive stops. But it's when they start hacking him, and then when he goes to the line, he's bricking these free throws. But you know why? That's why Indiana's been either able to come back or keep a game close, because of early foul trouble. Same thing with Brunson. You notice how they have to sit out,
Of course.
like after the first or second quarter because of the fouls. It's like, dude, I don't know. Maybe that's just how I would be as a
But
coach.
you're really playing a fourth quarter with Mitchell Robinson instead of Karl Anthony Towns?
Bro, I think it's personal. I think him
It
and
could be.
Tibbs don't get along.
The only thing that makes sense, bro.
Yeah, and to the point that makes sense, as far as like, okay, I could see why you need him to put up points, because he can have a 20-point quarter, but it's like, bro, he fucks himself with these fouls, bro, and they're stupid. It's like every game he acquires at least like 2 silly fouls, and that's what's putting Indiana in the bonus in these quarters to keep the game close the whole time, bro.
You know what else is keeping them in the games? Mitchell Robinson going 1 for 10 in the line. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, bro, I'd rather have Karl Anthony Towns, your second best player on the team on the court, than Mitchell Robinson. I don't even like Cat, bro. But there is
It's a
no
sacrifice.
player in the Pacers that can guard him. I mean, he
Yeah.
dropped 25 and 14 yesterday on one leg. He was limping the whole game, and they had no answer for him, bro.
I don't know.
If they're going to win, they need Karl Anthony Towns to be their number 2.
But this is true.
Mikal Bridges, he hasn't done it. You know, he played great against Boston.
Yeah, no, he's not an offensive dude anyway.
yeah.
But a Cat has these similar games to, like, the similar inconsistent games like Halliburton, bro. it's not foul trouble with Halliburton. Sometimes if he's not hot early, he won't shoot it. And the thing is with Indiana, they have anybody that can go off for 30 in that starting lineup for real. And it's like the person who scores 30 the game prior, it's like they expect them to do it again. But they almost rely on the versatility too much because Pascal Siakam is not going to have 2 straight 39-point games. No. So you can't feed him like he's going to score 40 the second game. Neither is Neesmith. He's not going to hit. He's not going to hit 6 threes in the fourth quarter. So it's like, yeah, you can get him going, but like those were miracles, bro. Those were one-offs.
It's that Spurs ball, bro.
Yeah.
Like I told you at the beginning of, when they meet Milwaukee and everything, the Pacers are playing the Spurs ball.
Yeah.
But Halliburton yesterday, that's probably the worst game I've seen him play.
Yeah.
That was kind of absurd. So I'm thinking the way they played, he's coming back game 6. They better win because if they don't, like I said, you imagine game 7 in MSG, a game away from the finals. That crowd's going to be crazy, bro.
But you know what's crazy? It's like all the fans know. It's like the whole basketball world knows. It's like it's OKC's chip. Nobody's going to be able to score against them. But this at least one of these series is this competitive because again it's like you can almost go into these games and see who's going to win which one. Like New York is probably going to force a game 7, bro. The momentum shifts so quick with these Indiana series. That's why if they even make the finals, it's a miracle run.
I mean, both teams is going to be a miracle
100%.
run. They haven't made the finals and God knows, I mean, I don't see any of those two teams even competing with Oklahoma.
No, it's
that Oklahoma-Denver series is as good as it was going to get as far as competition for them, bro. Like, did you watch the game yesterday? They just look like fucking monsters, bro.
Yeah,
they're up by 30 and they're playing like they're down by 30.
It's the level of poise they had in that one loss, though, right?
Yep.
So I feel like it's a topic everybody's talking about. What's next for Minnesota? And I guess there was some post-game interview with Anthony Edwards. He was like, yo, I'm young. I got plenty more opportunities. Yeah. It doesn't hurt, blah, blah, blah. How do you feel about his response? Do you feel like it was nonchalant? Do you feel like he's justified in what he's saying?
I mean, I don't think being okay with losing is justifiable at any point. That's pretty much what he said, that he's not hurting. Like, bro, you were 3 games away from the finals again. You got bounced last year in the conference finals. You just got bounced again. And you're saying you're not hurt. I don't know. But then he did say that he was going to work harder than everybody else in the offseason. But once again, like I said in our first episode, I don't know if you remember, Minnesota will not win. Or any NBA team is not going to win with Anthony Edwards is their best player, bro.
Yeah.
He's flashy. He's fun to watch. But he is not that dude. There's just... all these cats, bro, people try to make them like the next face of the league. They're just not consistent, man.
You know what it is? They're just young scorers with charisma. And they took that title away from LeBron. And all these players are going to be out of the NBA soon. So it's like everybody's so quick to give this title. You have media and the NBA fan base pushing it to players who don't even want that much spotlight, bro.
Don't want it or deserve it. Like I said, everybody's talking about Anthony Edwards and this and that. I mean, the dude hasn't made a finals. Shea's about to make his first finals.
Yeah.
And I feel like Oklahoma would still be a 55-60 win team without Shea, bro.
But
they're just loaded. The
analytics proved it. They were 5-1 without him this year. So the whole MVP thing, cool. Whatever. It is what it is. But if you're a basketball purist, you watch this shit, you can tell which player is more crucial to this team in the whole MVP race. I mean, there's an argument for Giannis to even be in there. To be honest, I mean, if Giannis isn't doing what he's doing, the Bucks aren't shit. So it's a media fatigue-based award. I think I was listening to Gil's Arena the other day, and they had a good point. Like, Bird was the last one to win 3 consecutive, correct?
What, MVPs?
MVPs.
Yeah.
So you really think they're going to strip that prestigious accolade away from an all-time pivotal great?
No, bro. No. I mean, you're seeing it with Jokic. You saw it with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's just something about 4 straight that people don't want to touch.
or even 3 straight, you know.
Or
It's the
3
same
straight.
thing with the chips, you know, to see another three-peat, it's going to be hard, bro, because every time a team wins, everybody wants to get paid. You know, money has changed the game. You build a franchise. What the Bulls did, it'll never be done. No team in this league is going to keep caliber players like Jordan and Pippen for fucking 15 years together. It just doesn't happen. Look at what happened in Oklahoma, bro. You know what I
You
mean?
really mean to tell me Miami couldn't have won 3 straight? I feel like the powers that be in the league do not want more than 6 titles for one player and one franchise, bro.
Of course, bro. Is that Jordan mystique? Because it happened before, but people didn't see it. So, you know, people don't want to have the Bill Russell discussion or Kareem. Like, when you talk about dominance, bro, Jordan wasn't the most dominant player the league has ever seen. He's not the most finesse scorer. He has no three-point game, bro. His defense was whack, too. His defense is so freaking overrated. He was guarding trash-ass dudes. You know what I mean? And now, like I said, you see all these cats every year, like you said. It's the new exciting player. Last year was Anthony Edwards. This year is Shea. Bro, it just proves more on the legacy of what LeBron did for fucking 20 straight years, bro. Like, LeBron didn't have a bad playoff game like Halliburton
I think his worst playoff game was
against
like,
Dallas.
what, 15, 10?
Yeah, it was almost
10?
a triple-double. And it was his worst. And, you know, and people dog him for it, you know. It's crazy because, like I said, you see these guys and they give you flashes. But the thing is, they cannot do it every night. Like, bro, 2016
year,
LeBron, 2018 LeBron, who has touched that in the last 10 years?
Yeah, his last year in Cleveland.
Bro.
I've never seen a better playoff performance. I don't think anyone ever has. Like, stop playing. I mean, that there's a reason why these highlights and these moments in NBA history keep getting resurfaced online. It's because, I mean, at a certain point, how many times do you play 90s clips or all this other shit? I mean, you run. Everything is subjected to something better in the future. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with basketball. You get a new iPhone every year. What's the discussion to be made in basketball then? If you're going to have more offensively gifted and defensively gifted players every year, every generation, every draft.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. And you don't see it in any other sport. It's this thing with Jordan where they don't want nobody to take that throne, bro.
Like, is there an untouchable wide receiver in the NFL? Like, the argument to be made is what, Jerry Rice for greatest wide receiver ever?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
But it's so up in the air. Who's cemented as the best wide receiver?
I mean,
the
cemented
NFL?
as the best wide receiver for a career resume is Jerry Rice. But for a prime, I'll take Randy Moss over Jerry Rice, bro.
Yeah, but the fact that it's up in the air.
Calvin Johnson. You ever watch that motherfucker play, bro?
Yeah, man.
Calvin Johnson had it all.
Yeah. I mean, he made Matt Stafford who he is today.
Yeah.
He's a dog. But you see what I mean? Like, there's so many.
The only sport that has an
options.
undisputable GOAT to me is football. Because nobody's going to touch what Tom Brady did, bro.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Like, nobody. You know, people say, oh, Joe Montana went 4-0. Yeah, he went 4 times. Brady went 7-3, bro. He went 10 times. He's got almost double the amount of rings. Like, this is not even up for discussion, bro. It's
People are very choosy about, like, talking about the path and how difficult it is to make it to a championship in the first place.
yeah.
How many has LeBron went to?
Finals?
Yeah.
10. He went to 8 straight, bro.
But that, see what I
In
mean?
2 different teams.
And people are acting like that's an easy feat. You're playing against all these Eastern Conference powerhouses, Western Conference powerhouses. Like, the most desired finals matchup that LeBron fans have really had was him and Kobe. Everybody else he matched up with, right? In
Yep.
his career. Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen,
Yep. Kevin Durant,
Kevin Durant,
James Harden,
James
Russell
Harden,
Westbrook.
Tim Duncan, Manu.
Yeah.
Every generational player over the past 20 years, LeBron really has seen consistent matchups with, and everybody's wanted to see the Kobe one, and that's it. And team for team, depending on which year, I mean, what year would his most possible chances of facing Kobe, What would that have
It was
been?
the year he lost to the Magic.
So 2009.
Yeah, that was Kobe's 5th ring when he beat the Magic in the finals, you know.
Now, do you think he would have beaten the Lakers? If he's in his prime, he won MVP in 2009, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
He
feel
could get
like
25 straight.
in any
again.
given series, LeBron could have beaten anybody. I mean, he dominated the Lakers. He went 16-6 against them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For career against Kobe.
So 7 games, you definitely probably would have taken.
I mean, but that Lakers team was way better than that Cavs team that LeBron has. You know, like the narrative is just so vague and dumb. Oh, you know, he got swept in the finals. Yeah, against the Spurs with fucking Ilgauskas at 35 as his sidekick, bro, and Snow. I mean, it was
Eric
a bum
Snow.
squad, bro. That was a JV squad that he dragged to the finals and have just beat the defending champs, the Pistons.
But there's always going to be something you didn't do.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, he
That's
didn't
just
have better
what it
teammates.
is.
You
I
know,
don't
when he
know.
was in Miami, Wade was hurt, bro. You know what I mean? And then back in Cleveland, Kyrie snapped his kneecap. Love dislocated his shoulder. They would have done back-to-backs in Cleveland.
No,
You
for
know,
sure.
15 and 16.
They probably could have got 3 straight. They probably could have 3-peated, honestly.
But also, you know, then there's what Golden State did, pulling off Durant after winning 73.
That was the only way any Western Conference team was going to stop LeBron.
Bro, that was a dream team right there. You had Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Kevin fucking Durant in a team to beat
Yeah.
LeBron without Kyrie.
Yeah.
Because remember, after they won in 16, Kyrie bounced. He's like, yo, I'm the shit. I can win anywhere. He went to Boston and didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I just, like I said it once. I have never seen one single player just impact the franchise the way LeBron did in his prime, bro. Miami has made the playoff 2 years. 2 years into it, they won a chip. Cleveland was a lottery pick team for 4 years while he was in Miami. Second year, he won. The Lakers have missed the playoffs for like 4 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Second year in the Lakers, he won. I mean, who's done that? I'll wait.
And again, I mean, we touched on it on our very first recording. I was just born in a time where it's like, okay, I mean, I just didn't grow up watching this other motherfucker play, so I can't speak
I mean,
to
I
that.
did. Jordan was great.
And
I
for
never
somebody
liked
who
him.
did,
Yeah.
you go skill set for skill set. You go facts. I mean, you just go back and watch these games and how defenses play one person, how they play the other person, shot taking, decision making,
Yeah.
passing, defense, off ball movement. It's, if you feel like one player did it better, then that's fine. But to just say objectively, this person did it better,
Yeah. I mean, I saw something
stats
the
don't
other
lie.
day. LeBron went to 10 finals. I think he was favored to win 4 or 5 of them. The other 5 or 6, he was the underdog. Jordan went to 6 finals, and they were the overwhelming favorites in every finals. I mean, the fact that he never even played a Game 7 in the finals, it's not how good he was. It's just how shitty the
lack
competition was.
in the lack of momentum in those finals in competition.
Yeah. I mean,
Game
from the
se- that's why they say Game 7 is the best 2 words in sports.
Yeah, bro, because that means this is competitive. There is competition. You know, the Bulls didn't have competition. It wasn't Jordan. It was the entire team. I mean, they were the only stacked team in the league back then. Nobody else had more than 2 good players. They had 4.
I don't know. That's why it's we can say now, like, oh, this is the GOAT, whatever. It's really not even, at the end of the day, it's really not even comparable, because just every metric has been improved or evolved over time. So,
Yeah,
none of these players in the 90s are better than the players now.
No.
I'm sorry.
And
None of the players in the 60s were better than the players
Yeah.
in today's game. That's just the fact.
And then there's the fact that every time that Jordan faced competition or he was an underdog, he never fucking won, bro. He lost to Boston. He lost to the Pistons. Both of those teams dominated Jordan. Listen, I used to watch basketball back then, and it's so funny to hear people saying, oh, Isaiah Thomas is a hater because Jordan beat him. Yeah, Jordan beat him once. The Pistons beat him twice. You know what I mean? Like, the Pistons Zeke had a winning record against MJ, so I don't want to hear all that. hate shit because it's just not factual. Bird, he never beat Bird in the playoffs, not a single game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those were the badass motherfuckers back then. Magic Johnson, he faced past his prime without Kareem. That was in the Showtime Lakers. You know, we go again with the Utah Jazz. He didn't guard Malone. He didn't guard Stockton. He was guarding Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah.
You know, in Phoenix, he was guarding Marley and Kevin Johnson.
Yeah.
None of those guys ever averaged 20 points. John Stockton, his highest points in a year was 17 points a game, bro.
Yeah. I don't even
You want
think.
to talk about competition?
Yeah. I don't know if you said it just now. I mean, we're smoking pretty good, but I feel like we didn't mention it before either. People don't even mention the fact that Chicago and Seattle were in a finals matchup because it was just so one-sided.
I mean, bro, Gary Payton was their best player. Sean Kemp was their second best player.
Nobody talks about that.
I mean, Sean Kemp was just a dunker. He had no game, bro. Sean Kemp couldn't shoot.
Shit.
He was a defensive
no pullout game
I love
either.
Sean Kemp. He was a showstopper, bro, with his dunks. But that's where it ended. Gary Payton was a great defender. How many times Gary Payton averaged 20 points in a year? I'll wait.
I don't know.
You know how many cats LeBron went against that averaged 20, 25? James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson.
And
stop
to
it,
plead
bro.
the case, bro. Gary Payton even went to the two teams LeBron went to.
Yep.
Miami and LA. People don't. It's because it's so close. It's really not even close, but the dominance and the media attention has been so close in comparison in two eras that people are just not willing to let go.
You know what else I feel like with basketball fans that are not purists? They just focus on points scored.
That's how this MVP
You know,
was won.
that's why,
I'm not gonna
you know,
lie, bro.
They try to put Kobe in the GOAT conversation. Oh, you know, he dropped so many points and did this. And I'm like, yeah, on 44% shooting.
There's a reason why Steve Nash, we were going back and forth about this the other day. There's a reason why Steve Nash, quote unquote, stole the MVP. His play and the numbers he put up were more impactful to team wins in the regular season than Kobe's numbers.
Yeah, bro.
That's what the award is based on.
Kobe was an inefficient volume shooter who was a better defender than Jordan. He was. Kobe wanted that matchup against the other team's dog. Jordan shied away from that, bro.
But think
Pippen.
again, to our point, who was Kobe defending? You think Jordan was gonna be able to guard a prime Melo?
No, bro. Or a prime Nash, or even a fucking prime Tony Parker, bro. Tony Parker would have cooked MJ. You say that
He
to
just
people, they're
would've-
like, yo, you're crazy.
He would have went right by him. I'm sorry. He's just too fast.
That's-
that's the problem everybody had.
Yep.
You hit him with a quick spin move or that Euro step. Like,
I mean, do you see the moves of Jordan in these highlights, bro? It's always the same thing. He holds the ball with one hand and he goes right. Jordan didn't even have a left game, bro. I
the
saw
best
the man
crossover,
play.
the two best handle moments, I don't know, I've seen personally was the push off in Utah.
Which
I don't
was
think-
an offensive foul.
Yeah, they wouldn't call that today either, which I feel like they wouldn't call that shit today. So good move. And then it was in 87.
The Cavs free throw.
No,
Oh.
like a handle moment when he
Oh.
scored 63 against Boston, and he had
And he did the dribble
yeah,
and
he did
one
the
jump shot. That's
the
one
whole
highlight.
yeah.
You know
That's what I'm saying.
You know what's a better highlight than all of those? Allen Iverson crossing the shit out of him.
Dude. Yeah, not for
You know
real.
what I mean? You want to watch LeBron highlights? Just shitting
Yeah.
on people, blocking on people, stopping the best player
Blocked
from
by
the
James.
Other. Like, bro,
3 best words in sports. Blocked by James.
just stop
Come on,
it.
man.
Yeah.
LeBron Glaze over here. That's what we do.
'Cause
No
he's
Diddy.
the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. He is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So we get the finals next week, right?
Yep.
How do you see that going?
Gentleman's sweep. Whoever it is.
4-1.
Knicks or Pacers. Yep.
Yeah, Eastern Conference ain't taking it this year, man. Sorry.
I'm mad too because I mean I would have loved to see any of those two teams win, Pacers or the Knicks.
I don't mind OKC winning it. One more thing too. You think Shea is the greatest Oklahoma City Thunderite?
No
Thunderinian?
way,
if he
bro.
does this?
No way. I mean, I love Shea. He's great, but I mean, like I said, that
I
team.
feel like I know who you're
let
gonna
me put
pick
it
to
to
be
you
the
this
best
way right
Thunder.
now. If you put Durant or Harden or Westbrook in that team right now with the squad they got in their primes, bro,
Shea would come off the bench.
Shea can't fuck with that. I mean, Shea's great, but Shea ain't no Kevin Durant. Shea ain't no Harden on his prime. I mean, Harden and the Rockets, bro, the numbers he put over there, he's just a choke artist in the playoffs, you know. And Westbrook was that dog, bro. People really shit on Westbrook and forget how good he was. You know, and that's another thing. Like, you think Jordan's stopping a dude like Westbrook?
Nah, full
Come
speed
on,
ahead.
bro. Stop it.
I mean, you really don't even need to shoot. I don't know what it is. There's no Shea hate. Like I appreciate the fact that his game has evolved, and congratulations to him and the OKC Thunder. They did it, but I mean, I feel like we've seen these scoring numbers before. It's really nothing crazy. And they had a graphic. It is personal. I feel like the league does not like. I don't know. They're gonna blow up Boston. I think there's gonna be some serious moves, but what was it? Jason Tatum last year had almost identical numbers with more rebounds.
I saw.
And and he didn't get Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Not that that award really matters, but he had similar numbers last year, and people kind of sweep Jason Tatum under the rug. It's who they pick per year.
Did you watch Jalen play in those series though?
Well,
yeah, he won them.
I've always been more fond of Jaylen Brown's game than
Jaylen Brown, when push comes to shove, is a better player than Jason Tatum. Tatum has more talent, but like I said, bro, when push comes to shove, Jalen's that dude. I have not seen it from Tatum, bro. I just haven't.
And elephant in the room. I mean, you're coming off an Achilles at the height you're at, and with the movement pattern you have, with the play style you have,
I think he'll be okay. I mean, look at Durant, bro. Durant's taller than him and slinkier, and he came back probably more efficient. As far as that, like, science has changed so much. It depends on the athlete's training, too. Like, at the end of the day, you got to hit the gym with an injury like that to heal up. But it's happened.
The fact that niggas aren't in the gym every day, I mean, I don't know.
It's crazy, bro. You're making millions of dollars to just stay in shape and shit on niggas in a basketball court, and some people can't do it.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing I wouldn't be down for is, like, the compliance. Like, you really don't have a voice in the NBA. It is a compliance league, just like the NFL.
I mean, look at what they did to Kyrie, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The league blackballed him. They couldn't get rid of him because he is a superstar. But, bro, Kyrie's career has been diminished, sometimes by his own mouth. But sometimes for just being a stand-up dude. Like, during the COVID vaccine and shit, people were saying, oh, you're selfish. Bro, this is my health you're talking about. You think I'm going to poison my body to play with some teammates that might be gone from this team next year? Nah, I'm good. I got a family to think about. You know what I'm saying? I'm already worth $200-300 million. I'm not going to be a lab rat. I mean, I'm poor, and I wasn't a lab rat for the government. So,
because if you think, like, all these spikes and colds and all this other shit, that's another topic. But, bro, I mean, come on, man. I myself did not get vaccinated, not once.
Me neither. Some people were forced to, like
understandable.
Our producer, she's a teacher in the Buffalo public system. They were forced to get vaccinated. They didn't have a choice. You went to college for 6-8 years. You made a career. And now the government's forcing you to take an experimental medicine or you're going to get fired. You know what's even crazier? Schools, hospitals, and all these people that were forced to do it, the people that they got replaced with were FEMA employees, who most of them were not vaccinated, but they were brought in by the government. How did that make sense?
Picking and choosing, man.
Yeah, bro.
And if you choose not to ride the wave, then you are extradited.
Kyrie is to basketball what Kanye was to the rap game, bro.
And now Kyrie is rapping.
Look at that.
Kind of ironic, huh?
Because to me, till this day, and bro, I love Dre, but Kanye's the greatest producer of all time. To me, he is. Just the versatility, bro. Like, what Dre beat, because it all kind of, same thing with Timbaland, great producers, but you know what
West
Timbaland
Coast.
bit. And it has certain sounds and tunes that are just
Timbaland's
in almost
up
every
there for
song.
me.
But, bro, Kanye's diversity, when you look at his portfolio, bro, the people,
You can't put a coastal what's the word I'm looking for? You can't put a coastal connotation on it. It's worldwide.
Yeah, bro.
You know, Dr. Dre was West Coast.
Correct. For sure.
But yeah, speaking of West Coast, they're definitely taking the finals this year.
Yeah, it's looking.
Congratulations.
It's looking that way. I can't wait for football, man. I cannot wait for football.
Long shot Super Bowl prediction.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how long shot are we talking about?
Like if you, I don't know, two best teams to you right now to have a shot.
That didn't have a shot last year?
No, that have a
I mean, the best team in the league is still the Eagles, bro.
Yeah, you think they can go
the
back
Lions
to back?
are still great, but they lost some key players. However, I think the most improved team this year is going to be the Bears.
Offensive line, right?
Yeah. And they got good wide receivers too. I mean, if Caleb can't do it this year, it's not going to be a good career for him, man.
Yeah. Cuz I mean, you're already in a sophomore slump, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Washington peaked last year. We'll see. I mean, they got Deebo Samuel, but
That's the thing about the NFL that's so exciting. There's less games, so every game is more intense, and literally every offseason, every team gets a little better.
the Patriots might make the playoffs this year.
Not with shit. That's another topic too. Stephon Diggs, man.
Nobody has talked about the Patriots, bro. They made some good moves this year, so
Passing
we'll see.
that pink shit.
You know who's not winning it this year? The motherfucking Bills. They're not winning it. They're going to be watching the Super Bowl like us from their home couch.
Yeah. But their Jesus got married or is getting married this weekend, so that's great. But congratulations, you're not winning a Super Bowl. But
no,
you're
getting
all in this
one ring
man's
this
personal
year,
life
buddy.
getting dicked down by Michael B. Jordan. That's
Yep.
crazy. Yeah. Take that.
Well, that is all she wrote. Episode 4 is on the books. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah.
Come see us and hear us next week.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you.